All right, beautiful souls. High vibration to you all. Gratitude for y'all being here. All right. Thank you, Yami. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Anybody that does want to, contribute any type of, um, I would say, reciprocation or any type of funds are appreciated, even if it's just $1 out energy exchanges are welcome. All right. So first off, I want to tell you about what I'll be talking about tonight. I won't have you all long. Um, I got it kind of structured in the way. I also have a PDF available. So, and this one, since you all didn't register, I'm going to have to kind of individually make sure I give you all the PDF. So if you want the PDF, make sure you inbox me on Instagram or text me your email address. That way I can send you the PDF that I'll be using tonight, and it comes with a ritual as well. Y'all know most all the classes that I've been doing lately comes with a ritual and also a PDF, something that you can take with you to help to apply to what you already know about your birth chart, about your life, and all the good stuff. All right. So when you bring about this whole thing about your power of yourself, is what we're going to be talking about tonight. And also the alignment of the 6 planets that were parading today. And I'll be also talking about where those planets were in alignment, and kind of what they were significant to. You know what I'm saying? Okay, hold on right quick. Who said that Skeeter Predator? Hold on, let me, because I know we got a lot of, when you got this open chat, um, a lot of times you allow people in and you have to really go in and moderate this thing. So y'all excuse me if I have to do a little moderation. All right. Which I don't mind doing. Y'all know I'm a Gemini, so I can goddamn me really, really, really multitask. Okay, there we go right there. And that is done. All right, so I don't know who that was, but he just got removed for that comment. All right, now, cause we ain't having no bullshit. Y'all know I don't play that. All right, now what we want to talk about tonight is kind of how these planetary influences are going to influence you on a personal level. Also coming into the new moon energy, and I also have a new moon class workshop coming up, and it will be on Sunday. And this also will be a paid workshop. This one is $88. And this workshop will be talking about the power of the new moon. I'll be also going over the autumn equinox that is coming up. Okay. And I'll be also seeing how this energy is going to influence certain parts of your birth chart and also certain aspects of the chakra system. Now I'll be going over some of that tonight. I still made sure that y'all gonna leave with something tonight. All right. Of course, I'm going to give you something that's worth your time and worth your energy. I have to make sure I do that. But I want to let you all know what I have coming up. And this workshop is going to be a follow up of the other 2 workshops that I've done previously. Honestly, the of the 3. I did one on the root chakra. This was in correlation to the Lion's Gate, but then I did one on the Lion's Gate portal itself. All right, which was kind of follow up to the root chakra. But then after that, we went to a sacral chakra workshop. All right. The sacral chakra workshop was very indicative to talking about the last full moon that we had. Now, the aspects of this workshop now will be talking about the new moon, the harvest new moon. The last full moon that we had was a sturgeon full moon. So we'll be talking about the harvest new moon. All right. Talking about the energy of Virgo, everyday routines, how this energy is going to help create your future or your reality. What you do every day is where your future starts. All right. And then also, this is also going to be a precursor as to coming into the North Node being in Pisces next year. Okay. Now that's going to be kind of showing us into the opposition to Virgo, which is Pisces. All right. So the North Node's in Aries right now. I'll be going over a lot of that in a new moon class, talking about all those influences. But today we're going to focus on all of those planets that were parading today. You had Jupiter, Mars, Venus, Uranus. You had the Sun. You also had Jupiter, Mars, Uranus. You had Venus, all right, and you also had Saturn, okay. And these planets, the 6 planets, when they become visible, this shows a lot about the spectrum of the sun, and is also dealing with a correlation of the sun's rays being, I would say, fractured a certain way. Now, this brings in a lot of what we can see, brings certain things that were invisible visible. Without sunlight, we would not know visibility. You know what I'm saying? So when the sun is out, everything is visible, right? The sun is shining on everything. And when the darkness comes, or when the moon, right, when the sun sets, the moon kind of hides everything. All right. So this is kind of a correlation of shining the light. So I'm gonna start sharing my screen here. All right. So give me 1 second. Let me share the screen. Okay. All right. Now, if you see anything crazy, or any type of weird energy, y'all let me know. All right. Because I'm kind of feeling out these people as they come in. All right. Let me go here. All right. Files. Boom. Here we go. Boom. All right. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
All right, bet. Thank you. Thank you for the confirmation.
Yeah.
All right, bet. All right. Now, here we go, y'all. The 6 planets that were parading today. Don't y'all like that picture? That picture is dope, right? So the 6 planets that were in parade, this is kind of preparing us for the harvest moon that is coming up on the 2nd of September. All right. Now, the planetary alignment, this is also positive or position relative to the sun, like I was just saying. So planets closer to the sun, like Mercury and Venus, are often visible before and after sunset and before sunrise. Depending on where you are in this world, you can always see Venus and also Mercury because they are the closest planets to the sun. The outer planets like Mars and Jupiter and Saturn are more visible for longer periods after, and they may appear brighter. All right. So this is also going to deal with orbital positions and dealing with the sun at a different speeds or distances. So there's a visible changes throughout the year when the sun orbits and brings the same side of the sun as Earth, and they appear brighter and more easily seen. Now, every holiday that we know is measuring the elliptical belt. All right. So every holiday, every time we deal with a sun energy, every time we deal with any type of thing coming from like what we know as the holidays, all these things deal with the sun movements across the elliptical belt. Now the planet's orbits lie roughly in the same planets that the Earth orbits. So it's called the elliptical. Now that alignment means that during a certain times of the year, multiple planets can appear along the line across the sky. All right. So when you're dealing with those factors that enable those planets to be seen simultaneously, clear skies, low pollution, all that type of stuff, timing, one of the best things. But retrograde motions, I really want y'all to understand. A lot of those planets that we saw or seen today or that were visible today are in retrograde. There's a lot of retrograde motion going on. This what made a lot of the visibility that we experience today within the sixth parade planet. All right. Or the sixth planet parade. Now, the difference between when Mercury and Venus, the inner planets, they're often seen near the horizon. All right. So that's shortly after sunset before sunrise. Venus is particularly bright, and it's often called the evening star or the morning star. All right. Mars is usually visible in the evening or in the early morning sky, and it appears to be bright reddish dots. Okay. So whenever you think, a lot of time people would think that they seeing the sun and the red sun, that's Mars that they seeing. And depending on what's going on in the cosmos, Mars and the sun can be damn near right by each other. Just depends on the position of Mercury. Now, the sun and Jupiter, gas planets, often high in the sky and visible for much of the night, especially when in opposition or opposite to the sun in the sky. Okay, Uranus and Neptune, though faint, Uranus and Neptune can be visible with binoculars or a small telescope. Uranus can sometimes be spotted with the naked eye under ideal conditions. You might see a lot of Uranus energy kind of closer to the northern hemisphere. All right, closer to the northern lights and all that type of stuff. All right. Now, when you deal with the four events or the special events, conjunctions and alignments, planetary conjunctions, conjunctions occur when two or more planets can appear closer to each other than the sky. A grand conjunction might involve Jupiter and Saturn with other planets nearby, making multiple planets visible simultaneously. So what we had today can be considered a grand conjunction. All right. Mercury and Venus are best seen at their greatest elongation. This is appearing farthest from the sun in the sky. All right. So when you're dealing with something being elongated, it's just something in its most furthest motion away from the sun. Okay. Its most furthest orbit away from the sun. Oppositions, outer planets, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune are brightest, and when they're in opposition directly opposite the sun from Earth, making them fully illuminated. Now, when you're dealing with this, you can look to the east before dawn or wait to the west at after dusk. So even right now, the sun could be setting in a lot of places. I know. So if you're able to look outside right now, if you are able to, you may be able to see some of these planets right now, still outside around the sun. All right, depending on if it's kind of cloudy or pollution or whatever around you. If you got some binoculars or a telescope, of course, I would say use that. All right. Now, just to clear that up, just to round it up, those six planets simultaneously is a remarkable sight, and that requires the right conditions, right? So everything is about conditions. So the conditions were right for us to be able to see these celestial bodies today. All right. Now, the significance of these planets being visible in the sky at once. The visibility of the six planets in the sky simultaneously is a spiritual potential, has a spiritual potent time, symbolizes alignment, heightened energy, and opportunity for profound transformation. Each planet in astrology represents different aspects of your psyche and life's journey, right? When they are all visible at once, it serves a cosmic reminder of the interconnectedness of the universe and our own in the world. This event acts as a powerful portal, encouraging us to align our lives with our higher purpose. So that's just for people who choose to be present for this experience, right? Because we are present for a lot of cosmic things that have happened that's only going to be once in a lifetime. A lot of us will never, people that comes after us, generation that come after us, might not get to see or witness or experience some of these cosmic influences, right? So it's a beautiful time to be alive, beautiful souls. Okay. Now, I want you to understand these planetary positions that I'm giving now are based off of where these planets are in the chart for the whole Western Hemisphere. Okay. Right now, the sun is in Virgo in the house of Sagittarius. All right. So what that means is the sun is going to be influencing everybody on the level, right? And dealing with the solar plexus and the manipura, right? Because you dealing with confidence and willpower and wisdom. It's dealing with the nervous system on the aspect, the gut and brain coherence, right? The connection, the affection of the digestion and the mental clarity. Now, the spiritual significance, focusing on higher learning, philosophy, and spiritual growth. This energy prompts self-reflection and alignment with your beliefs and values. This is ninth house activity. Now, this can also people dealing with people who are going to school right now. All right. So a lot of y'all could be taking classes. Okay. All right. Now, this is also going to bring in, since the sun is in Virgo, you might even be having to be of service to some type of dealing with some type of higher wisdom or some type of institution. Even if it's just your children going to school every day. Some type of way you're going to have to serve the school system, right? By adhering to the everyday routines that it requires that school has to bring into play. Now you can see why they use this type of energy or open up the school systems at this time of the year. I'm just telling y'all how they use these cosmic influences, right? Now, how this going to affect your nervous system? This is why the foods that you eat right now. Are you having digestion issues? Are you having acid reflux? Or are you feeling like you want to change the way you eat certain foods? The body is going through a significant change right now at this time of the year as we're getting ready for a fall equinox. All right. So this whole thing is going to impact the gut and brain connection, and that's going to deal with the digestion and also the mental clarity because Virgo rules the digestive system. Now you bring in the digestive system. Now this can be traveling, right? Even eating meals that can bring more culture. The ninth house is still culture related. All right. So being mindful that what you're eating is still connected to some type of routine now. You could want a break routine of that, right? Even traveling. Now, this could be being mindful that if you eat some type of foreign food that you've never eaten before, okay? So be mindful of what you eat. Trust your higher self when it comes to the foods and the things that you're doing, all right? And have the confidence and the willpower and the wisdom to trust your higher self. The ninth house is the guru, the higher self. The house of Sagittarius, long distance travel. All right. So anybody thinking about going out of town, things like that, if you might do some research and say, I might not like the food that I'm going to eat out of town, right? I might want to take something or look up some restaurants that I know I might like. Okay. So be mindful of how you of what you put in your mouth right now. Okay.
Oh,
Jupiter is going to be affecting the seventh house. All right. Now this is going to be an aspect of dealing with the throat chakra. And this is going to deal with communication and truth. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Let me make sure I'm not tripping over here. All right, 1 second, y'all. Let me get this together. Okay, hold on 1 second. Okay, let me see something, y'all. Okay. I just wanted to make sure I was on top of what's going on in here because I heard some extra little stuff. I know somebody might be having some realization. I just want to make sure. And don't y'all hesitate to let me know now if y'all get some more crazy activity up in here. All right. Don't y'all hesitate to let me know if y'all get some crazy activity up in here. Okay. I just heard some of the sounds. If y'all heard some crazy stuff, y'all let me know because I will kick some people out. Okay.
We got you.
Bet that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let me go back to sharing my screen. Boom. All right. Now, or was I go back? Okay, bit. Now, when you're dealing with this energy of the planetary positions, and I was dealing with Jupiter and Gemini, Jupiter and Gemini is going to be an expansion of the mind. All right. Now, Jupiter was also visible in the sky today. So that Jupiter and Gemini energy.
and you say
Now, hold
Shot
on one
City,
second here.
That's Kanye West.
Shot City, Shot City. I'm coming home again.
Hold on,
Do you
y'all.
think about me now and then? Yeah. Do you think about me now
Hold
and
up.
then?
All right. Thank y'all for that. Hold on, let me make sure I get them out. Okay, big. See, I knew it. I felt it coming, y'all. I'm telling you, man. I felt this stuff coming, man. This stuff is crazy, all right? So let me go back up a little bit. Because I started to just sit there till somebody started acting crazy. I'm telling y'all. See, that's why I be registering my cars, y'all. So I just want y'all to know for future references when y'all see me registering these things, this is why, okay? Because it prevents all of that stuff right there. Now my daughter texting me talking about am I still in the class? Yes, baby, I am. All right. Did I go up too fast? Okay, no. Okay, let's go here. Now Jupiter and Gemini. This one is gonna be huge, all right? Um, especially when you see this energy playing out on the collective. Now, Jupiter and Gemini is gonna deal with a lot of conversations. This Jupiter is gonna expand wherever it's at. Wherever Jupiter is in your chart, all right. Now, whatever is also in your seventh house. Now, the same thing goes for the ninth house activity with the sun in Virgo. Your ninth house is going to be affected by this. So, whatever's in your ninth house, whatever's there in the energy of Sagittarius for you, is going to be asking you to bring more confidence and more willpower to it. All right. So, I want you to look at that from that place so you can marry this energy and understand. This is for those of you who understand your birth charts. For those of you that don't, I would suggest that you look up or get an app or something that allows you to pull up your birth chart, your birth time, your birth location, your birth city and state, all that good stuff, your birthday, of course. And that allows you to really understand what we're talking about. And you look into some of your placements. If you want a reading, of course, hit me up, book a consultation. I help you and get understanding of this information. Now, when you're marrying this with your birth charts, I want you to look at what's going on inside of your seventh house. Where's your Jupiter, right? What is in your third house? The house of Gemini. Okay. Now, this is going to be dealing with your throat chakra. All
How
right.
many more classes
This
you got?
this is going to be dealing with the ninth house. This is going to be dealing with communication. All right. This is going to be dealing with the aspects of how we expand our
You ain't
thought
done your
process,
practice
how
yet?
we expand the
That's
mind.
Darian.
Yeah, I'm doing my
The
practice.
more we expand the
Oh,
mind, the more we expand the mind, the more we allow ourselves to be more of ourselves, right? So renewing of the mind is something that's the only thing that we can do in this life, right? Because the only thing we can do is renew our mind. That's why a lot in the scripture it talks about be renewed of the mind. And I know a lot of y'all done heard me talk about that before, right? Or say that actual saying before, be ye renewed of the mind. So Jupiter is also always a renewal. Jupiter ruling Sagittarius is also going to deal with how we communicate and how we use our throats. Now, when you're dealing with the chakra system and communication and truth, this is why a lot of I like to say hard conversations because a lot of time being honest and authentic about how you feel can be challenging for people. Gossip, all right? Gemini is also going to this connection is going to affect the stimulate or dealing with the central or the neutral or the neural connections related to speech and understanding. All right. And that's also going to have an influence in expanding social connections, partnerships, and communication skills. Jupiter's expansive energy encourages collaboration and the sharing of ideas, right? And it also deals with the enhancing of personal growth through relationships. Because Gemini is the mundane. When you bring in the seventh house, this is all Libra stuff. People at work, relationships at work, right? All these things are always going to be a reflection of a relationship that you have with yourself. Okay. So if any of these issues came up for you today, right, and they impacted you in any type of way, right? Or if they didn't, that don't mean that your nervous system wasn't impacted by these alignments for today. So if you felt any type of issues going around your throat, any type of issues around communication, talking to people, saying how you felt, right? Um, I would say being honest about communication. Jupiter's been in Gemini for the past couple of months, so this type of energy could have been coming online for everybody. I would say, as far as when it comes to being honest and authentic about how you feel about what it is you got going on, about your values and all that good stuff. And this is why a lot of this has been happening through relationships. All right, seventh house activity. Okay, so that seventh house activity is going to be very indicative of you finding balance, Libra energy. So these are the influences that these planets had today, the ones that were out that we can see visible. And now, of course, that don't mean that just because they were visible today, that they haven't been affecting us. I'm just speaking to the ones that were parading today and the alignment and how this alignment wants to happen. So first, we got one that wants to align with your higher self and your everyday routines. Jupiter wants you to trust your higher self and communicate and use that energy to balance out your relationships. All right. Now we're coming into Mercury. Mercury dealing with Leo. This is having the courage. Now Mercury just came out of retrograde. Okay. It's in the sixth house, the house of Virgo. This is going to deal with the heart chakra. This is going to deal with love and compassion and creativity. This is going to affect the autonomic nervous system and manage the stress response and emotional regulation. So this enhances self-expression, creative problem solving, and daily routines and health. Encourages a heart-centered approach to communication and service. These are the energies that are accessible, right? Now, how people been using them, I don't know. So if you operate from at the same down time, you realize the power of your feelings, right, are not you. So when you begin to manage these things, the stress response, this is when you breathe, right? You dealing with Leo, the heart, you able to slow down the heart versus the heart speeding up when you get all nervous and shit because you done ate something good today. You done ate some good vibrational food dealing with the house of Virgo, right? Now you make this a routine that allows you and it encourages you to always communicate from a heart-centered approach of communication and service, right? Now, remember, we just came from how Virgo was going to influence your expression of your higher self in the ninth house, and how when you do that, it allows you to operate from a gut and a brain coherence. When you trust yourself in communication and you speak from a place of truth, this Gemini energy is coming into play. It allows you to feel that expansion, and allows your nervous system to feel connected and related to understanding of higher levels. Now you coming into the heart and the brain coherence here with this Mercury and Leo in the sixth house. Now you coming into Uranus in the fifth house, the house of Leo, the house of parenting, all right, the house of the heart, the house of actresses and actors, the house of our willpower, the house of how we relate to the inner child, right? The house of how we express our inner child, our love, our courage, you know? So Uranus and Taurus are going to bring in that detachment from whatever value systems are no longer serving you in that area. This is going to be root chakra energy. Most of the things that you have that are in the matters of your heart that come from the fifth house came from your parents. It came from what you were rooted in. And that can affect your creativity and how you feel grounded inside of your body. So this energy today wanted to amplify more of that, to open up the aspects of this energy of creativity and feeling more grounded. Even as it affected the parasympathetic nervous system, urgent grounding and calming. The parasympathetic nervous system is about less stress, more rest. All right, urgent grounding and calming. The spiritual influence brings sudden insights and changes in personal expression, love and creation or creative endeavors. Uranus encourages embracing authenticity and innovation. That's why Uranus rules Aquarius, which is the humanitarian. So remember, these influences that's kind of out there right now, these were the ones that were amplified and wanted to cause more, I would say, harmonious flow between these energy centers as they are were in a grand conjunction today. The Mars in Gemini is going to also be influencing what's going on with the aspects of the Jupiter in Gemini because they are so close together. Mars is how you yield the thought. Gemini is what you think. Mars is what you desire behind the thoughts. You cannot hide Mars. Mars is the aspect of ruling Aries. So Aries and Libra are the oppositions here. So you bringing the ruler of the opposition to Libra to his home or to Libra's home. This is bringing the self into relationships. Gemini is going to be communication. This is how some people can be dealing with narcissistic energy. Or are you the narcissist? Hey, you become so selfish about only thing that matters in a relationship is what you desire. This is why it's dealing with the sacred chakra, the desire, passion, and relationship. Now, this is also going to deal with the relationship that you have with the self. Mars rules the self. Gemini brings in other people, and so does Libra in the seventh house. So these people are a direct reflection of you. So if it's somebody in your life that you don't like, right? Why are you dealing with that? Mars is also your sex life. It also rules your sex drive. I can tell you about your Mars, and we can talk a lot about your sexual energy. All right. So Mars is also what pisses you off. A lot of people are pissed off at Sensei right now. They might not be saying nothing, but hey, it's a Mars and Gemini. I know why they mad. It ain't me they mad at. It's they lack of this. They lack of their own desire. They lack of their own passions, right? So now their nervous system is stimulated by my Gemini energy. Now, because they are questioning their partnerships and their social interaction, they want to question me or question Gemini in this area. Now, if you somebody who's dealing with people and you're questioning how people are showing up in this area, be mindful of the mirror here now. It's just yourself and what you're choosing to see. Now, that's why Gemini still rules communication. But if these talks are coming from a shallow place, if these talks are coming from a place to where you're not being honest and not being authentic, I mean, we're going up here, right? All the way back to the first one. Confidence, willpower, and wisdom, all the way down to Jupiter, communication and truth. You still have none of this is in alignment, you're going to reach a blockage here some way. So people talked about these six parades and the possibilities, but people don't talk to you about how these planets are influencing us on an everyday goddamn level. Now, this is also going to be indicative with your Mars energy. Whatever your Mars is in, people piss you off there too. If you got Mars in Taurus, Taurus shit piss you off. You got Mars in Aquarius, Aquarius shit piss you off. Mars in Libra, Libra shit piss you off. Whatever you have in a Mars energy, these are the things that can irritate you. And it also going to deal with the things that you were probably made to do when you were a child. This is how deep Mars goes. Anybody that has gotten a reading from me know that I bring that into play. Okay. Now, when you bring in Neptune and Saturn in retrograde, both of these are in Pisces in the third house, the house of communication. Now you're dealing with outer planets. All right. Now you're dealing with an aspect of coming into play of saying how I deal with generational things, right? Neptune and Saturn are both generational. Now you bringing in the third house. This is your mind. The third house is where your chromosome, this is where the DNA is activated. This is where your mom and your dad brought together, and then the next thing became was the waters. That's the fourth house, Cancer. A spark had to come. Everything was created through a thought. That thought manifested something in the womb. Anything that we see in this reality has came from the unseen realm. See, this is Neptune. You cannot have nothing that is separate from the spiritual. Everything in this real. I hear a lot of people saying the mundane and the spiritual is separate. A lot of times I don't say nothing because I don't have time to be arguing people about their delusions. Neptune. I ain't got time to be arguing people about their delusions, okay? The spiritual and the mundane are not separate from each other. Never separated. Those who have the eyes to see will see. This is the third eye. You see it? Intuition, spiritual connection, and wisdom. The third eye is the ajna. This is where we open up the door to the unseen realm, and that means the unseen is that does not reflect light. So you might can't see the planets every day, but I'm damn sure you can feel them. Do you know what they feels like? Probably not. But if you truly understand the influences of Saturn and Neptune in your chart, you'll understand what they're retrograding and what they mean in Pisces. Pisces rules the bedroom. Gemini rules uncles and aunties and cousins and siblings, and it rules our childhood, our neighborhood, the houses and we grew up in, and how we used to walk to the candy house and the neighborhood store and shit. All right. All this is third house activity. Okay. So if anybody is revisiting any of these areas in their life, in their childhood, right, that means something is retrograding in your life, right? And that means that there's a revisit, there's a redo. This is why it deepens introspection and revisiting of the spiritual beliefs and encourages refining of communication, intuition, and mental clarity. Retrogrades urge healing and reevaluation of past lessons. A lot of the past lessons that you could be dealing with might not have been your shit. You know, it might have came from mama. It might have came from daddy. It might have came from their lack of this. And I'm going to tell y'all something, too, that's been used that I've been witnessing. You know, there's something that we always like to say, I did the best that I could, right? And that leaves a lot of a lack of accountability, because now if I did the best that I could, that means that I can't nobody be mad because I done forgave myself. I'm gonna tell y'all, beautiful souls, be accountable for what you caused. Be accountable for what you've made people feel. This is dealing with the essence of Neptune and Saturn. Saturn is also going to be about your karma and your rewards. Karma is not only based on what you do, it's also based on what you do not do. Okay? These were the influences of the planetary alignments that were in parade today. All right. Now, how these influence different aspects of your houses, wherever they were influenced. All right. Remember, everybody that's on this call, make sure you inbox me, text me so I can get your email address. I'm pretty sure I probably have all of y'all email addresses still, but inbox me so I can know that you were here, so I can make sure that you get this PDF. Okay. Now, when you deal with how these planetary transits and how they affected all 12 zodiac houses, this is going to be how, wherever, if you were to look into your chart, all right, for yourself, and you would understand where these were transiting in your houses, this is going to be a key aspect of how you can use this as a key, all right, to look at these trends and see what they meant for your houses and your life and your birth chart. So if these energies were transiting your first house, it was dealing with self-identity. That means you felt a heightened sense of awareness and a personal transformation and a focus on the self-expression and authenticity today. If this was transiting in your second house. Now, I want you to understand that even in all of your houses, even in the cosmic aspect, these influences still affected you in some type of way. Now, how you utilize the energy is going to be on you.
Like you would see like niggers
So I'm giving you a whole thing, a whole aspect on how you can utilize this energy and use it for yourself, all right, and how you can take a lot of this energy with you, all right, beautiful souls. Because I want you to be able to take this energy and utilize it, and be able to stand on it, because it is a powerful place for you to be able to be you, I would say. So it is an opening of the energy and all that good stuff. So it does allow you to kind of remove, all right, the things that no longer serve you, right, or the things that become a nuisance, you understand me, to the overall conducive flow of your energy, you know. And sometimes you just got to do that kind of stuff, and you just got to keep it going like ain't nothing happened, because one monkey don't never stop no show. So sometimes you just have to adjust, beautiful souls, and you got to flow with this shit, man, because, you know, but distractions happen, and you being able to stand on your square and not pivot is very, very vital. All right. So being able to understand how these are influencing and transiting your birth chart is what I wanted to give you. And in the second house is going to be dealing with finances and shifts in financial priorities and values and self-worth, encourages aligning with resources and with purpose. This is also going to be dealing with enhanced intuition in the third house, communication, learning, all right, and a need to clear communication, time to revisit learning paths and spiritual teachings. Anybody feeling under any of those influences that I talk about, that means that this transit happened for you. If you're feeling all of these transits, that means that you felt this effect of these planets, all right? So if you heard something that don't apply to you, cool, all right? But if you heard something that you feel and it resonates, then you understanding why you felt what you felt today, or why you may have felt what you've been feeling for the past couple of days, all right? Even if you don't feel this today, you might start to feel it tomorrow, all right? So the fourth house is going to deal with insights about family dynamics, emotional security, encourages creating a nurturing environment. The fifth house is innovations and creative expression and personal joy and focus and authenticity. In love and leisure, all right, attention to health routines is going to be dealing with the sixth house in Virgo. All right, the fifth house is Leo, the fourth house is Cancer, the third house is going to be Gemini, the second house is Taurus, the first house is Aries. So the sixth house dealing with Virgo, attention to health and routines, daily responsibilities, how you serve others. The seventh house, Libra energy, reflection on relationship dynamics, communication,
And you say
partnership.
Shot
All
City,
right. And you're also
Shot
bringing
City,
in, hold
Shot
on real
City.
quick.
Coming home again.
So when
Do
you're
you think
also
about
bringing
me
in the
now
aspect of
and then? Yeah. Do you think about me
your
now
own power,
and then?
all right.
'Cause I'm coming home again.
When you also bringing in the aspects of walking in your own power, it allows you to truly um, walk off in that seventh house energy because our relationships are a reflection of you, you know. And when you truly know your own self and that relationship with yourself has been revisited and you kind of got to the core of what that looks like and what that feels like, man, you talking about some dynamic changes that can happen, y'all. Because now you become committed. See, sometimes we don't get committed to relationships because we lost ourselves in them, and it's hard to see that in partnerships and reflecting on any relationship dynamic and communication in partnerships. So, the eighth house is going to be about transformation, mysterious, deep transformations, and facing hidden fears, and encourages spiritual and emotional rebirth. So, any of these influences, once again, if you've been feeling any of this, remember this can be referring or I would say influencing you. The ninth house is going to deal with higher learning and traveling, focus on spiritual growth and philosophy, and also broaden your perspective. The 10th house is going to deal with career and public life and reassessment of the career path and public image. Time for aligning professional life with spiritual values. All right. This is going to be a lot of the 10th house influence. I felt a lot of this influence. I ain't going to play with y'all. Cause my north node is here. So a lot of time, wherever your north node is, you might be feeling a lot of those influences as well. So don't hesitate if you are dealing with that north node energy, that you will be getting to feel a lot of that. All right. So a lot of times you might find yourself having to, you might have to find yourself finding, I would say, a whole new aspect of where you're gonna go, and that can be a whole aspect of your public image and how that shows up in that 10th house. The 10th house is also a higher aspect of our authority. All right. So that higher aspect of how you show up in the public and the public image is gonna be very indicative of how you boss up. You know, that 10th house is bossing up, and that can be a lot of financial influences that could be happening too. So these could be very influential on the finances when you deal with these second, right? The fifth house, you know what I'm saying? And the 10th house. All right. The 11th house is going to bring in involvement of community or group endeavors. We're evaluating friendships and long-term aspirations. That's going to be the Aquarian energy. All right. The 10th house with the Capricorn energy. The 12th house is going to be Pisces energy. Heightened introspection, healing, and spiritual awakening. Encourages letting go of past traumas. This is going to, also going to be talking about how this energy wanted to flow through your chart and at the same time how it could have been flowing through you. All right. So remember, in it on one of those 1 through 12 trends that I read, if they influence you in any type of way, all right, now you can understand where that transit was felt the most in your chart. And if you felt that in multiple ways, all right, it was being on something. Okay. Now, the impact that this is going to have on harvest new moon, because in that Virgo, it's going to amplify purification, grounding, and prayer. I don't know who has not been feeling like it wants purification. Like, if y'all ain't been Virgo on, I don't know what the hell y'all been doing. All right. So Virgo, all right, is a very, very powerful aspect of us walking in our own power. You know. Okay, so Virgo is a very powerful aspect of us being in service. I guess they just gonna keep on coming in trying to play games, y'all. Everybody just want to have fun tonight. But either way it go, we gonna keep it popping. You hear me? Cause one thing they ain't gonna do is distract me in that way.
We
Now,
have you. Don't worry.
no, it's all good. No, I ain't tripping. But I just see somebody like playing. You know, they must don't know it's all good. Now, when we dealing with the power of that Virgo energy and this new moon, and how we're walking into this harvest energy, and this is why this time of the year did start the new year for a lot of traditions. Even in the Ethiopian calendar, this is going to be the beginning of the new year. Okay, so this is also going to show how the lowest part of our chart is basically going to be dealing with Cancer. The highest part was once viewed as Capricorn. So in a lot of ancient traditions, the zodiac wheel started with Cancer and it ended with Capricorn. This is just also showing how we can be dealing with the northern and the southern hemisphere, or the Tropic of Capricorn and the Tropic of Cancer. All right. So this harvest new moon is going to be all about purification and grounding, and it's also going to be about practical steps, and it's also going to be about towards those personal goals. Virgo is going to be the opposition to Pisces, which means that Pisces is going to be the spiritual house or the 12th house. Virgo is a house of routines. The 12th house, ruled by Pisces, is going to be the house of our undoing, hidden enemies, and also our gifts. Your everyday routines reveals your gifts. How you are service to people reveals your spiritual power. You might just deal with it on a mundane or on an analytical level. You know, that's the power of Virgo. So a lot of times Virgo analyzes you because they see your gifts on a spiritual level, but they don't know the purity of how you operate. And if they catch that shit, then they will analyze and break your shit down. You understand me, to a 10th degree. You hear me? So that Virgo moon is going to align energy with the meticulous and analytical nature of Virgo. And if we all have this because we all have a brain, we have detail. All Virgos are very attentive to detail. You want to run a company, you get a Virgo. When combined with the visible planet's energies, it bridges the spiritual Neptune in Pisces and the practical Sun in Virgo. So y'all see how I just brought all that into connection. Because with the Sun in Virgo, all of the planets are supporting the Sun always. You get what I'm saying? So the whole aspect of it is the beginning and the end. And when you deal with Virgo, something coming into the light, your spiritual gifts want to come to the light now. That's why the retrograde, we come out of this, the things that you're doing right now, I know it might be hard for a lot of y'all. I'm telling you for real, like on some real shit. It might be hard for a lot of y'all right now. Y'all might be pushing through a lot of things, but I'm telling you, your gifts are coming to fruition. And this is going to mean when that retrograde ends, you're going to see a lot of your hard work, a lot of your dedication, a lot of your devotion is going to pay off. This new moon is going to be very indicative of how you plant the seed of consciousness to allow that to happen. You don't got to do a lot of shit. Serve you. Make sure you good. All right. This is why the key influences are going to be about influences on supports around the clinical or critical thinking and the practical application of ideas. I always tell Virgo energy, your best friend is action. Just do the shit. Don't get so caught up in the analytical side of it. And be mindful that everything you're thinking is not your thoughts. Everything is don't deserve energy. All right. Focusing on your health, emphasizing more health routines and diet and overall wellness and integrating the body's needs and mental and spiritual clarity. Give your body what it needs right now. All right. It might be a lot of old habits that you're letting go of, a lot of old thought processes, a lot of old foods, a lot of old routines, lot of stuff, right? It's time for it's time for a purge to happen, okay? If feeling any of this, this is for this reason, okay? These planets are influencing you. You do not work your health making decisions for you. Because with this energy, everything is important until one day ain't nothing else no more but your health. Until one day nothing is but your health. All right. So focus on your health now. That way you won't be forced to later on. Okay. Now, also daily routines. Okay, this is some routines that I gave y'all. I wanted y'all to walk away with from this. All right, focus on grounding and connecting with the heart and the solar plexus, the chakras to align with your intentions and your actions. There's some journal prompts I always like to include as well. What habits or beliefs no longer serve my higher purpose, and how can I release them? How can I better integrate my analytical and intuitive sides? What practical steps can I take today to move closer to fulfilling my soul's life purpose? All right, my soul's purpose. Also, some yoga poses, some sun salutations, Surya Namaskar, the warrior pose, the boat pose, the fish pose, the camel pose, the lion's breath. Y'all can look those up. All right, and if y'all have gotten any type of PDFs from me, a lot of those might already be in your old PDFs as well. Now, diet and nutrition, focus on foods rich in fiber, supporting that digestive health, herbal teas like chamomile, peppermint, good for the nervous system. Two simple herbs. I try to give two simple herbs to where they don't have a lot of side effects and anybody can drink them. All right. Dealing with eating foods that help support brain health like walnuts and blueberries. All right. Feed that brain. Feed that old brain. All right. Evening reflection and visualization. Reflect on the day's achievements and areas for growth. Visualize desired outcomes for your spiritual practical goals. Ways to use planetary energies or influences to fulfill your soul life mission and purpose. Leverage the energy of the Mercury and Jupiter. Use enhanced communication skills. Share your wisdom and connect with like-minded individuals. Don't cast your pearls to swine, just to give y'all a biblical aspect to go with that. Don't waste your words on motherfuckers. Don't be out there talking spiritual talk to people who on her and you sound like Charlie Brown teacher to them. And don't be talking to people who sound like Charlie Brown teacher to you. Meet yourself where you are. Honor yourself for where you are. Because when you force yourself into communication and conversations, this is when miscommunication happens. And a lot of times, miscommunication leads to a feeling of being disrespected. And all it started was just somebody didn't hear somebody right. I'm just telling you, all right? Mars and Uranus, that courage for innovation, the courage to do something new, embracing change and taking bold steps towards personal and professional transformation. Take the steps necessary. You ain't got to have no money to take a lot of these steps. All you got to do is have the willingness to do it. And a lot of things that you want will show up naturally. Neptune and Saturn for spiritual discipline. Integrate spiritual practices with everyday routines, creating a balanced approach to life. That balanced approach to life is saying, okay, I'm doing this every day because it keeps me grounded. Wake up, do some breathing, do some yoga, right? Wake up and ground yourself. Acclimate yourself to the life that you are. That way you can meet the other shit outside of you, and that way it'll start to have a less effect on you internally. Develop some spiritual practices for your goddamn self, all right, that allows you to feel more whole and complete and more centered. Now, the next one that we have is the sun in Virgo. All right. The sun in Virgo is going to deal with the prioritizing practical actions in the health, setting the foundation for success in all endeavors. A lot of sun signs in Virgos naturally do this, but y'all might be doing a lot of it to excessiveness. All right. Now, with this, I just want to give a final thought. You know, the planetary alignment offers a powerful window to reflect and realign and take meaningful steps towards your life mission. The energies encourage the balancing of practical and spiritual grounding, intuitive insights into reality. By embracing these influences, you can cultivate the emotional intelligence and mental fortitude needed to fulfill your soul life purpose, creating a life of greater alignment, joy, and impact. All right. Now that was that. Now also I have a ritual here, all right, that you're gonna get as well. All right. Now that ritual, of course, as you can see, is gonna help you harness the energy of the day. All right. So you can do this tonight, even going into the new moon as well. Of course, for the new moon class, I have a whole nother ritual for that one. But in this one, this ritual will help you with the energy that's present right now, that was out today. So this is going to deal with that Sun and Virgo that we talked about earlier. Those cosmic influences is going to be about how you align with cosmic energies to ground spiritual insights into practical actions, enhancing emotional intelligence and mental fortitude, releasing old patterns that no longer serve your higher purpose, connect deeply with your intuition and inner wisdom. So the candle that you need is going to be a yellow candle that's going to deal with mental clarity and Mercury. Red is going to be for Mars and also courage. All right, blue going to deal with communication and Jupiter. Green is going to deal with healing and Uranus. The white is going to be for spiritual connection and Neptune. There's also going to be the ancestors as well. Black is going to be for transformation, and Saturn, that can be for releasing blockages, road clearing, and all that type of stuff. The crystal that you would need is going to be dealing with confidence, the citrine. All right, that's going to deal with the solar plexus. Amethyst is a beautiful one. I know everybody loves some good amethyst that helps you connect with Neptune, spiritual influence, the crown chakra, of course, and the third eye. The third eye, and also tiger's eye. I mean, grounding and courage. That aligns with Uranus and Mars. Lapis lazuli. All right, this enhances communication linked to Mercury and Jupiter. Black Obsidian, a powerful one. I love this one. It's all about protective and transformational energy, and it aligns with Saturn grounding and grounding energy. Black Obsidian, that's was once used as a mirror for scrying. Black Obsidian is a powerful crystal to pull out the deepest, most darkest wounds that it may be hard for you to pull out. All right. So if you got some deep stuff, memory blockages and all that kind of stuff, pull some Black Obsidian out as you do this ritual. All right. Herbs, sage and palo santo, of course, just two natural herbs. As you can see, I kept the herbs and the crystals kind of simple. All right, sage and palo santo, light the sage, palo santo after. All right, sage for clearing, palo santo for setting. All right, sage for clearing, palo santo for setting. All right, lavender, that's going to for calm, spiritual connection to bring in more of also I would say a sensual side of a spiritual connection. Rosemary is going to be good for mental clarity. All right, peppermint for focus and digestive, and also aligning with Virgo. All right, herbs are associated with Virgo anyway, but peppermint is one herb that is associated with Virgo itself because of the power of peppermint, and it's so universal. All right, peppermint is a very powerful herb by itself. All right, paper and pen or pencil and paper. All right. For writing your intentions, releasing those old patterns, a bowl of water that represents emotional cleansing and also dealing with the intuition. And now here you have the steps of the ritual. So you'll prepare your space, cleanse your space with the sage, set up the candle, and also the crystals, aligning that with the specific planetary energy and what it represents. Your ground and center, you're going to sit comfortably, breathe, visualize a golden light, all that good stuff. So I gave you some visualizations, some intentions to use as you write down. Also, so when you write this stuff down, don't block yourself. Let it all come out. Do some free writing. All right, the candle meditation, light the candle first, focusing on Mercury's influence and enhancing that mental clarity, visualize a burning light illuminating in your mind. And a lot of times with no actual physical tool, you use your mind as the tool. Even can't you go out now? Have you tasted peppermint? Can't you go out and taste peppermint now? Don't ever discredit the power of your mind, beautiful souls. All right. So the next one, of course, lighting the blue candle, then water cleansing. It's going to be dipping your fingers in the bowl. Imagine the water is absorbing any emotional blockages. Rub your hands together and place them over your heart, symbolize the cleansing and emotional releasing. After you're done with that water, pour it out as well. All right. They help kind of clear the energy as well. And the affirmations for the visualizations, releasing gratitude. You got the closing ritual, and there's some daily routines, some morning routines, some midday routines, evening things, and I also gave you all some journal prompts as well that you can utilize. All right. So that was kind of basically what I wanted to go over and make sure I left you all with more than anything. And of course, y'all do know I like to take a few moments to answer some questions. If anybody got any questions, I got some time about what they just heard, what they just learned. If you want to share any realization that you had, right? If it's anything that you just like, man, I just got to say this. I want to let this out. I want to let y'all know what I'm getting from this. All right. Don't hesitate. You can go ahead and come off your mics.
Sensei, I
Anybody?
want to say thank you. I was in the room with Miss Diamond earlier today, and I had asked for clarity on, like you were saying, the first house and and the corresponding the 7 to 10, I think in 1 and 4. I'm not sure. I wrote it down, but you did it over again today so that I could have clarity in that. And I appreciate, you providing this tonight because it definitely was something that I was asking for. So I just want to say thank you very much for this.
You're welcome. And I saw, okay, was it breaking up on anybody else? I want to make sure.
Yes.
Was it breaking up?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
all right, where was it breaking up? Y'all let me know.
It was
What
breaking
you-
up during while you were talking about the candles and things of that nature.
Okay, that was it.
No, it also broke up
All right,
during the
so
water
let me go.
cleansing and things of that.
Okay, so I'm gonna go back over that then. Thank y'all. I got time. So y'all let me know if there's anything else that y'all wanted me to go back over that y'all kind of missed or it got broke up or anything. Don't hesitate to let me know that.
I wanted to ask, because I don't have all the tools for tonight's alignment. It will be a post shadow to this also, right?
Huh?
There will be a
Mhm.
post.
Say it again, Mike.
I said, because I don't have all the things to do the rituals for tonight for the
Uh-huh.
alignment, there's a post shadow to this, right? That'll last for how long, I
Oh
guess.
yeah, 3 days before and 3 days after.
Okay, thank you.
So basically, with this energy, you're gonna have all the way up into the full moon, I mean the new moon. And all the way up into 3 days after the new moon.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know, at least up to the new moon, so I can get my other colored candles for my planets.
Yep. And remember, you can do all this in your head too. Of course, it's beautiful to have the tools, but you can start the ritual now and then just go and get the candles and add, just keep it going when you actually get the physical tools.
Thank you. That's a great point. Thank you.
Hmm.
If I may add, when you do the water cleansing, make sure you put the water outside and put it with Mother Earth so that way she can take your negative energy and convert it back into a positive energy.
Hmm. That's why I said make sure you pour near a tree. So gratitude, beloved. Now, what else did was it breaking up on, Sonny?
She covered the part that I missed and say.
Okay, bet.
Hmm.
All right. Now y'all make sure y'all send me y'all emails that way I can make sure y'all get this PDF and as well. For those of you that want it, of course. Anybody else got any questions? Anything they want to share?
I do want to say thank you, Sensei. I
All
appreciate
right.
you doing this. You hear me?
I hear you. I hear you. Yes, I hear you, love. Thank you.
I appreciate you.
Gratitude. Appreciate you.
I want to say thank
All
you.
right, y'all.
Can you hear me?
I can
Hello?
hear you.
Okay. I just want to show my gratitude for the invite to this class. It actually let me know what I've been doing the last couple of days as far as my journaling is on point and not to second guess myself. Sometimes you need that reminder, so I really appreciate that.
Same.
Mm-hmm. Go. Who was that came off?
That was
I was
Ife.
I was agreeing with her. I said thank you. I appreciate it so much.
Oh, I already appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all. Yeah, I wanted to make sure I gave y'all something. And remember, I do have a paid class coming up too for those who want to join as well. So I want you to make sure that anybody that wants this PDF, make sure you inbox me, make sure you text me, give me your email address so I can make sure I get this PDF to you. And also this replay will be on my YouTube channel as well. So if anybody that wants to get it or share it, it'll be available there. All right. So anybody have any questions? Y'all good?
I think you gave us a lot to work through tonight for our homework, and so we're
Okay.
all processing all that you provided for us and working it through our heads how to make it happen. So that's it. The silence is just what is the word? Enumerating all the information.
Oh yes, beloved. I appreciate that. Hold on, let me get my YouTube up real quick so I can get this in the chat while we're here.
While you pulling up, sister, I just want to say thank you as well. Um, Seems like everything you talked about tonight is kind of seeing what is happening right now for me. As far as, the energy is strong. I'm a Gemini, so it's like everything is coming, it's good things, but it's like, why is all this thing happening right now? And it's so forceful the way it's coming. It's like sometimes it's too much to grasp at one time. So I understand what you're saying. Everything you said tonight just kind of seemed like it was hitting at me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I appreciate you.
No, I appreciate you, beloved. Gratitude to you. All right. Um, for real, because it is a lot to digest. And I love that mirror, how you just said that, because yeah, sitting with a lot of this information, I know it was a lot real quick. I just ran through a lot real quick. And also seeing how it makes sense in your life, all right, is very, very powerful. So gratitude to you all for your time and energy. I appreciate you all and all that good shit. So, any questions? Make sure that y'all inbox me. And I see some of y'all putting the emails in the chat. I'm gonna see, can I put it out of the chat? If I can't, then make sure y'all send it to my text or my Instagram. All right, so I can make sure I get y'all this PDFs. All right, and also screenshot. Oh, I'm gonna screenshot the chat, so don't worry about that. Matter of fact, let me do that right now. Screenshot this chat. Boom. Okay. All right, beautiful souls. Gratitude to you all. All that good shit. And y'all already know. See y'all out here in the streets. And don't forget, anybody that wants to join the class on the workshop on Sunday, make sure you hit me up. All right. Gratitude. And who was that? What you say? Will the video be available? Yes, it will be available on my YouTube. It should be available tonight. I'll make sure I get it all. We'll get it uploaded and you'll be able to check it out. So peace and love, beautiful souls. Our vibrations. Namaste.